How are we actually doing? I think we have made progress, even though that's been slower than we would like, and it still remains a struggle with some of the bureaucratic requirements. They are bureaucratic problems, I think, at the moment, rather than issues of actual principle. So UN staff, international relief staff, are getting into the Delta in reasonable numbers, although we're not having as much success as we would like in getting agreement for them to be based down there. We estimate that the international relief efforts, together with those of the Myanmar Red Cross, have reached something like 1.3 million or more than that out of the 2.4 million we thought were badly affected. We're not doing well enough yet. And there isn't yet a fully effective relief pipeline, I would say, in terms of a reliable flow of food for the future. I'm not talking about right now. And in particular, for example, there are problems about shelter goods, tarpaulins, plastic sheeting, because that's one of the major needs, given that so many houses were simply destroyed. And there are concerns which we are raising with the government about, for example, forced relocations from camps and from settlements, or even forced labour. Again, we have no solid evidence of that, but there are stories which are sufficiently worrying that we are raising them with the government.
We need to understand the perspective of Myanmar's domestic politics. The military leaders know that foreign aid will help, but they fear the political consequence of opening up the disaster zone to international aid teams. They're suspicious of humanitarian aid serving as a camouflage for regime change.
I wonder, from the UN perspective, whether there is a discussion now on the long-term implications on sanctions, non-sanctions.
To impose sanctions at this time, I think is the worst thing you can do to the people of Myanmar. And for the matter, sanctions, I believe, are not going to work. Okay, because the back door and the side doors are all open, and unless the whole international community is prepared to impose sanctions on Myanmar, I think it is not going to work.
My name is Sarah Dobsavage. I work for WaterAid. I'm curious and surprised to hear that there don't seem to be kind of an epidemic of cholera and more waterborne diseases.
No epidemic is happening there, but some scattered cases of the gastroenteritis, and even in Rangoon, some people start suffering from the viral hepatitis. So apart from the waterborne disease, there are some scabies or skin infections. Many creeks are blocked with debris and animal carcasses, so that will be posing some potential dangers for the waterborne disease in the future.